Misfits, Last Caress. Okay, so the intro pattern, it's basically the verse pattern, just different dynamics to it. Like we're just kind of hitting like single chords and letting them ring. Towards the end of it, then we get into more of that eighth note style strumming. So it'll kick off here, and we just do kind of some higher voice power chords. We'll be at a C, so we want to be 8th fret on the E, 10 on the A and D. Just kind of hit it, let it ring. All right, and let it ring, get into the second measure. Just before the second measure's out, we're going to go F to G, which is 8A, 10 on the D and G, up to 10 on the A, 12 on the D and G. All right, and we would repeat that twice, the C for a measure into that second measure, F to G. Do that twice, and then we kind of like flip things a bit. We'll go to the F and just let that go for a measure. So 8 on the A, 10 on the D and G, hit it, let it go for a measure. Come up to a new chord here, D, so 10 on the E, 12 on the D and G, do that for a measure. And at that point, we get into more of our 8th note style down strumming. And it's essentially those first two measures just with the strumming. So full measure of the C at the 8 on the E, 10 on the A and D. Come up to the 8 on the A, 10 on the D and G for the F for like the last couple counts, and then up to the G at the 10th fret of the A, 12 on the D and G. And you want to do that twice. Okay, so as mentioned, the verse section, it's basically just what we did in the intro there, but we're just doing the 8th note style strumming with it. Okay, chorus section, kind of a long sequence of chords here. Just 8th note style strumming. We'll be at the F, the 8 on the A, 10 on the D and G, full measure. Come up to that G for 10 on the A, 12 on the D and G. Do that a full measure. These measures will happen again here in a moment. Then we do a split measure of C, okay, at the 80, 10 on the A and D there. And we add a new chord for the last half of that measure, the E at the 7A, 9 on the D and G. All right, and then we go to an A at the 5E, 7 on the A and D, do a full measure there. All right, and like I said, we'll repeat those first two measures, the full measure F and full measure G. Repeat that. All right, and at this point, we do our, looks similar, we do our full measure of C, all right, at the 8th fret on the E, 10 on the A and D, do a full measure of that. But now, instead of waiting till the end of the second measure to do the F to G, we just start that measure with the F and then split that with the G. Okay, so it's just a little different timing with that F and the G after the initial C there. And you would do that 2 times at the end of the chorus. And a special note, the last time we go through the chorus, which is basically like the second time we go through the chorus, everything stays the same, but once we get to that second time around with that initial F to G, once we hit the G, you just hit it and you just rest. Okay, there's that big long pause there with like the vocal coming in. And then, after that, it picks back up into that final bit.